Yeah, unfortunately. I was just saying I want good games, but I actually think David Tao's deck might be able to get there on 4.
Yeah, I guess that's why we play best of three, right? No, go regardless. um, all right. So it looks like they're ready. So I'm just gonna let them know they could start. We're all set. You guys can start. Good luck. All right. So start this clock. Did they say something?
Thanks. Yeah, they pointed out that Dave's on 4.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So he's on the
Um,
play also, which hurts more.
yeah.
But I'm really excited about this Agent deck. I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but like its perfect play would be Swamp, Dark Ritual, and then Buried Alive. Dump all your Arclight Phoenixes into the bin,
Mm-hmm.
and can you don't you need one more spell before you can get them back?
Yeah. So wait, is there lotus petals in there?
Oh, and Lotus Petal, right?
Yeah. So you can like lotus petal and then like do something.
Oh, I don't see Lotus Petal actually,
Oh, there is no lotus petal.
because
Maybe I'm
Buried
thinking of
Alive
the
is
other deck.
3. Yeah, there is another deck tonight that has Lotus Petal in it.
Okay. Um,
So David's starting off with Swamp Island, and we had a brainstorm where Gregory is playing Death Shadow, so he's fetch shocking, which is if you are a modern player looking to get into Legacy, you can just like bring your Watery Graves over because they're actually what you want.
yeah, that's true. I think
And
this deck
cycling street.
led to. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. What were you saying?
No, that's good. Oh, he just
Um,
cycled Street Race, so he's already at 11.
gotcha. Oh, there's Death Shadow. I was gonna say that I think Death Shadow becoming popular in Legacy within the last year or two, or two, 3 years. I
I
don't
think
know.
it was Raptor who
You're
brought
right.
it to a large tournament. And at the moment I saw him play that deck, I was like, "Ooh, I want to play this." And I don't even play blue, as you guys might know if you've seen me on the stream before. So
Yeah,
it's like,
yeah.
ah,
Um, but yeah, I think a lot of modern players were like, you know what? I'll try Legacy out after that Death Shadow deck became popular.
mm-hmm.
You don't even
David
really
just
need
went
the
for
Underbouncy.
Ponder Go. So I mean, even though he's down to 4, I don't know if we mentioned David's starting with 4. He does have the ability to come back. He's got Brainstorm, Ponder.
Yeah, worth pointing out too. Greg, obviously he's Death Shadow and he's trying to hurt himself. That's the point of the deck. But you put yourself within range of three arc lights. That's a little tricky.
Yeah. I mean, also, David runs Bolt. There is definitely a dance, I think, that Gregory's going to have to play to maybe you want your. I think Death Shadow operates the best when it's at like 9, 8 life.
Yeah, I think that's the that's the safe zone, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
Once you start teetering at like 4 or 5 life, you're like in danger.
Yeah.
So how big is that shadow?
It did look.
3.
Dave Kaplan pointed out that the Death Shadow looked textless for a second, and I thought it did too because of the reflection.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Oh,
And
Dave, uh, bulk pass over on David's side.
it's
I think I
it.
misspoke and said Gregory, or David instead of Gregory.
Oh yeah, yeah. I was gonna say I think I went into shock when Greg submitted his list today, and there was like ponders and brainstorms in it because Greg is always just like lava spike and entomb.
Yeah,
So he's trying something different today.
all things considered, Demir Death Shadow is kind of a fair deck for Legacy.
It is, yeah, it is. It has
David's down to 9.
wait, is David a 9
Oh, he's
or
they're both at 9.
oh they're both a 9. Okay.
And then that was Death Shadow getting dazed, and Watery Grave was getting picked up with the daze so that David could replay the Watery Grave, pay 2 life, and then swing in for.
Greg, yeah. Having the deck in front of me again, I haven't looked at it in a few hours, but it looks like he's mulliganing again. Jeez.
I know.
Um, But what was I gonna say? Oh, but it is kind of a Delver deck that is just trying to. Oops, I got the arc light. You know, it's not
Hmm.
only about the arc light. So um,
Polluted
it's not.
deltas on
Yep.
turn one for both players, but Greg is going to fetch shock.
Yep.
I just like that when that happens in Legacy because it's so not what we do.
Yeah. True. And oh my goodness, I have to apologize to you and our entire audience and to
Mm.
myself. That match I played with you in Modern like a few weeks ago, I played a Watery Grave at some point, and I didn't
Hmm.
pay 2 life. I didn't.
Oh,
I totally forgot I was
I
supposed to
missed
pay
it
2 life.
too. Failure
Yeah,
to maintain the board state on both player sides.
yeah. But um, I received I received many letters in the mail of people calling me a cheater,
Yeah,
and I am not a cheater. It was an honest mistake.
that's fair. Well,
Just want to address
David's
that.
hand got picked apart there with the turn one Thoughtseize. The opposition agent got binned, and I did not see very much else going on.
Yeah. So how tonight came about in a way that everybody's playing similar decks as far as the colors, um, is that I messaged the group, our NYC Eternal group, and was like, "Hey, who has like real paper hull breachers and opposition agents?" And like almost everyone was like, "Yeah, I got sets." So there, the point is the group was on it, and everybody bought their sets already. So I was like, "All right, let's just get all decks with these cards on stream on Monday." So that's kind of how it ended
Thanks
up
for
with.
this sub.
Ooh, Enigma Engine, thanks for the
Any?
sub.
Okay.
Enigma Machine,
Thanks.
Enigma Machine. Sorry. Um, and thank you to you for the sub too. I missed that before.
Oh, yeah.
Um,
Surgical extraction is targeting the polluted delta, so it's hitting the polluted delta in hand, in the yard, and then two more in the library.
hmm
Why do you think he's going for surgical?
Hmm. Did he know he had polluted
Oh,
deltas in hand? Because that would be
yes.
a good reason. Because
Okay.
you're basically just like him to Tureking your opponent in a way.
And then the hand is two lands and a daze, it looked like.
It looked like it, yeah. Sculling Tarn,
And
which just
go.
got played.
Well, I'm excited to see them. I missed the Hull Breachers in the deck list earlier, so those will be a surprise for me.
Yeah, I forget which deck they're in. Oh, there's one in Greg's sideboard actually.
Okay.
At least one. They're
While
around.
Greg's thinking over a brainstorm.
hmm
Do you think the Hull Breacher came in this matchup?
Probably. It feels like a good matchup for it.
Yeah, I
Shutting off your
agree.
opponent's cantrips is pretty good.
Ooh, David just had a Drago. And it looks like we have an end of turn brainstorm. Favorite art, also, we talked about that last stream.
Favorite art and flavor text.
Yes.
Do you use those same ones, or was that Landon?
Those are Landon's. I don't play brainstorm as I do not play blue in Legacy.
That's right. Yep. Uh,
Yeah. But Gregory's not really putting up a threat. His life is at a pretty healthy 13.
yeah.
Drago again on Greg's side.
Maybe
Going back
Greg.
over to David.
Maybe Greg sideboarded to be a little bit more defensive in this matchup. Maybe he senses that he got a little lucky in game one and was able to be aggressive.
Sure.
But as we touched on before, the arc light um, against a Death Shadow player, the arc light threat against a Death Shadow player reducing their life total below 12 is dangerous.
Sure.
And I guess the Arclights are hard for Greg to remove, right? Fatal Push doesn't hit them.
Not unless you can trigger Revolt.
Right, exactly.
Which I'd say triggering Revolt feels harder in Legacy than it does in Modern.
It does, right? Fatal
For
Push has
whatever
kind of
reason.
fallen way out of favor in Legacy.
Yes. Probably it feels like it's at an all-time low. I'm not seeing it that often.
Yeah.
So maybe that means it's time for us all to play Goblins.
Yeah, I'm with it.
Yeah. Ponder on Greg's side.
Ponder. So nobody's really
This is a
doing any damage here.
yeah, really different game than game 1.
Right. That's a good thing, though.
Yeah. That said, Dave's not able to put up. We're not really seeing what his deck can do yet. Ponder into Brainstorm.
Slayer wants to get slayed by goblins or slay goblins or both.
Though I suppose if we're looking at the single strongest tiny creature deck in Legacy, it's got to be Elves, right? Elves is
Um,
stronger than Goblins right now, even with the Muxus and all that nonsense.
yeah, I would say so. But I still think Wizards is secretly the best tribe.
Yeah.
Slam
Well,
turn
we
one
haven't
Lucky all day.
played Tribal Wars on the stream in a while. Do you do Wizards as your Tribal Wars deck?
I've I've only done birds so far,
Okay.
kind of memeing, but
Mm-hmm.
um, I think Wizards would be my tribe if I was taking it seriously.
Sure.
If that makes sense.
All
Is
right.
it Staticaster?
Greg got the first threat. Delver resolves, and passing back to Dave. Is a Reality Smasher a tiny creature? I think technically yes. No. I'm sorry. Thought-Knot Seer is technically a tiny creature because it can be fatal pushed. Reality Smasher is a big creature because it's coming in at 5. Casthaven says more Tribal Wars. What is the voting? Voting's on Wednesdays?
Voting will be on Wednesdays, yes. And worth pointing out, worth pointing out, the where is it? The bars in the middle of the screen. We're pretty close on November subs. If we hit our
Today's
November
the
sub
last day?
goals, yes, it is the last day. This is it. This is your last chance. If we hit the subs goal, we'll do an extra stream, and when we get there, we'll do a poll, and Twitch chat will pick the format for that stream. So it could be
Awesome.
Tribal Wars. It could be. Pyroblast is hitting Delver?
Delver.
Okay.
And Greg's having a good think on that.
Indeed he is. Greg not used to thinking about responding to stuff.
No.
Usually just plays offense all day.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of responding to stuff, I had no idea that there was a whole book on Gush when I played Gush on stream the other day. It was in my vintage deck, I think.
Yeah, there is a whole book on Gush. And some people have read it, some people haven't. That's I have not read it. I have not cast many
Dave
Gush.
is going to cause Dave just to pay for the Pyroblast, which he's happy to do.
Who are you rooting for here?
Some...
Phoenixes
I
or
like Arc.
Shadows?
Yeah, I mean, I like both of these decks a lot. I think Arclight Phoenix is the underdog, so I'm gonna root for the underdog.
I agree. Yeah, that's fair. There was a time where Arclight Phoenix was public enemy number 1, right? Everybody had enough of that card. But I think
certainly did. It made me want to stop playing Modern for a bit there.
What was the other deck? That was like
KCI.
Hollow One. Hollow One was the other one that everyone hated.
I played Hollow One.
Oh, you're one of those.
There's been quite a few boogeymen that people that kind of break Modern, and sometimes get banned, sometimes don't. The Urza deck for a little bit was Breaking Modern. That was all you were seeing, but nothing got banned out of that. Correct me if I'm wrong, chat.
Mox Opal,
The
I
meta
think.
just... Oh, yeah. Mox Opal got banned.
Yeah, Mox Opal killed it. For now.
And I'm fine. I felt bad about Mox Opal getting banned because, we had affinity players and folks who were playing hardened scales who were actually using Mox Opal as a synergy card and not as broken.
Yeah, I felt sorry for those people too. I have a few Magic friends that they had play sets of like invention opals or whatever special opals, and that just sucks. Could still use them in Legacy though.
Yeah, David's going for a Valk and then a Dreadhorde Arcanist. Key cards in the graveyard, he's got plenty. We've got Brainstorm, Pyroblast. Feels good.
It's pretty good graveyard. Oh, here's Snuff Out.
Yeah, Snuff Out. One of those great alternate casting cost cards.
Snuff Out's one of the cards in this deck that when the Dimir Death Shadow decks became popular in Legacy, I was like, wow, that's a good one. It's just so clever. A Daze?
So we've got Daze in response to the Snuff Out. Greg is going to pay for the Daze with the Wasteland. In response, Dave is going to pay, or fetch, excuse me.
Yep.
Kaplan says Waste Tarn into Daze. Got a Flusterstorm on the stack.
Alright. Snuff Out. Ah, Drown in the Loch.
And that all resolves, and we get a Drown in the Loch. Dreadhorde Arcanist, barely knew her. It's not a good joke, it's okay.
Oh, what happened? Oh, okay. I thought he picked up his cards.
Scalding Tarn pass. Waste the Badlands, trying to cut off black, it looks like. No. Red?
Red, yeah. I do have a little bit of a grudge against David Tower right now. He did knock me out of the Big Apple Brainstorm tournament.
Yeah, what deck was he on?
Infect, actually.
And you?
I was on Snow.
That seems like a tough matchup for Infect.
It didn't seem like it. I might have had some. I might have been, the victim of some worse than ideal draws because I didn't draw a lot of removal in game 2. But
do you run Wasteland? I guess is the key card there.
No, and the Ink Moths are what killed me in the end.
Out of nowhere, Death Shadow, swinging in with Greg at 6. That makes them 7/7.
Yep. Oh, how do you take 1 more damage? Oh, I don't know. Must have missed a fetch or something.
By Delver of Secrets, so threats showing up for Greg.
We need to see quadruple Arclight right here or the game is over. Or triple Arclight. Triple Arclight.
Or single. Or no, double. Sorry. Because they fly over, yeah?
Oh, right. Yeah. I also have like totals wrong. Greg's at 6, not 8.
So with 2 mana, there are lots of opportunities to get double Arclight. But all it does revolve, I think, around we got to have like Dark Ritual, the Buried Alive, and one other 1 mana card.
That would do it.
But he didn't get there.
Scoop. All right, let's tune into the players.